Hello there and welcome along to Hive Live Extra, your place for exclusive reaction and analysis following Watford's 2-1 victory against Wayne Rooney's Derby County. So that makes it 3 out of 3 for the Hornets. What a week. Here with me in the studio to talk through the game, I'm joined once more by the Creative Director of Sports Interactive, Miles Jacobson, and the Head of Academy Goalkeeping, Graham Stack. I said it there, Graham. What a week it's been. Long may it continue.
Yeah, it's been a tremendous week. I mean, listen, if you would have been offered that at the start of the week, you would have bit the round off. There's no doubt about that. But I think the way we've done it has been impressive. The variations, the difference in play, digging deep today like we did, 6-0, cruised it, limiting teams to very little opportunities, shots at our goal, and basically controlled pretty much all 3 games in my opinion. So I mean there's so many positives to come out of it, and the gaffer's going to be really pleased, and so will the players. And I think it's important now we obviously as they will do, we've got Blackburn, which is going to be another tough game. We'll have similarities I suppose to the Preston one in terms of the way they play. So yeah, it's been a cracking week, well deserved for the players. It's been excellent. Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure if we all had our own way, they'd win 6-0 week in, week out. But to show that they can dig deep, Miles, it gives you a lot of confidence in them, doesn't it, going forward into this run-in?
It was really good, and particularly doing it without the supporters here as well. Because if the Watford fans had been here, they would have been getting behind the boys. It would have actually made it a lot easier for the players, I think, having that encouragement from the crowd, because they must be pretty tired. 3 games in 6 days isn't normal for them, and it was pretty much the same team all the way through, rather than the rotation that we've seen so far. And they were able to dig in themselves and get the result, despite having kitchen sinks thrown at them from corners from the Derby team. So. Again, for us at the beginning of the week, you can get 9 points.
Yeah.
It's brilliant, and long may it continue.
Yeah, it has been quite the turnaround, hasn't it? When you look at this game, though, we did control a majority of it, but Derby County did find a way back in. Can you put your finger on how so?
I think the changes, the goal, definitely a shift in momentum. I could feel it sitting there, sort of lost our way a little bit. Giving away the ball needlessly at times. Maybe could have been, maybe changed our style of play, maybe got a little bit more direct. I thought we tried to manage the game quite well. We slowed the game down, and we kept the ball reasonably well, which is nowhere near as well as we did in the first half. But I always felt it was going to come from Derby at some stage, and I think that Wayne Rooney will be pleased with his subs. They came on and they certainly changed it for him, and there was a shift in momentum for sure. So yes, it was a difficult last 20 minutes. But as I say, I think we would have expected that. I think anyone would have expected that with the changes they had made. But certainly we lost our way a little bit, but it showed good determination to hang on in there.
Yeah, credit to them. They showed great character, didn't they?
Absolutely, they did, and the defence were once again magnificent. Daniel Bachmann, the save from the corner, the direct corner, was absolutely brilliant. But they're playing together as a team. I mean, as Stacky said, we lost our way a little bit. It's kind of our shape in the forward positions. We lost a little bit because everyone was trying to do so much, and even Isma was, you're seeing him tracking back quite a lot, trying to get the ball. It seems that there's a really good spirit in the camp, which is a big turnaround of how we felt a few weeks ago. The players still seem to be playing with good body language, although the last 15-20 minutes they looked a little bit nervous. So there's stuff to work on in the training ground, if we're going to use every cliche under the sun. Still things to work on in the training ground before the game on Wednesday, but there's some really good signs there. It's actually enjoyable to watch.
Yes.
Even when Derby were coming at us today, it was still enjoyable to watch, rather than full of dread.
Well, on that subject of being enjoyable to watch, we're all about exclusive reaction here on Hive Live Extra, and now we can hear from our star winger, Ismaila Sarr. Ismaila, thank you very much for joining us in the studio for your time this evening. congratulations on the win tonight. 9 points, a very good week. Just how pleasing is that, especially given the disappointment in the couple of games prior to these 3 they've now won in a row?
Isma, merci pour être ici aujourd'hui. Nous avons gagné. Combien content tu es de ces parties, spécialement parce que avant de ces parties que nous avons gagnées, nous avons été un peu tristes.
Ouais, ça va faire du bien à tout le monde. Le coach aussi, même nous aussi, ça va faire du bien parce qu'on a perdu les matchs passés qu'on ne doit pas perdre. Mais là, on a commencé à gagner. Je pense que ça va faire du bien pour tout le monde.
Everyone did very well, from the team to the coach, especially after those 2 games. It wasn't easy, but everyone worked together and we did it.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. It was quite a nervous end to the game tonight. Why do you think that was? How were Derby County able to get back into this game?
Il n'a pas été une partie très facile, spécialement à la fin. Et qu'est-ce que tu penses? Pourquoi le Derby County a revenu dans ces parties?
Ouais, parce que on a bien défendu. Par erreur, on apprend un but. Par la suite, on a continué à défendre. On a travaillé en équipe. On a défendu bien jusqu'à la fin du match. Mais je pense que c'est comme ça. À la fin du match, on doit subir pour avancer.
We defended very well for the whole game, especially at the end. Even when we conceded the own goal, we kept defending until the end. And it should have been like this. Like if we had to win it, we had to defend, and we did it very well as a team.
Yeah, the team showed great strength of character towards the end. Just give us an insight into the mentality of this side. There certainly seems to be a winning mentality about them, but to get through games like that and hold on and get all 3 points.
So, toute l'équipe a démontré une mentalité très comme une équipe qui peut gagner. Et c'est très important de tenir sa mentalité pour gagner les parties, non?
Ouais, on travaille pour ça, pour mentalité gagneur. On travaille pour ça. Sur le terrain, on le montre parce que c'est normal qu'on le montre parce qu'on travaille ça en entraînement. C'est comme ça. Travailler en équipe, par la suite, on gagne quelque chose. Voilà.
We work a lot during the week to build this winning mentality. Obviously, it's not easy when we are there in a real game, but that's what we work for. So just to build the mentality to work as a team and get there.
And I suppose 3 different types of performance now, these 3 different wins. Just how versatile is this Watford side?
Les parties que nous avons gagnées, nous avons joué très différents. Combien nous sommes flexibles quand nous jouons maintenant?
J'ai dit tout à l'heure, nous, on doit pas faire une erreur sur les dernières rencontres. On doit faire mieux pour gagner des points parce que c'est le temps. Maintenant, il faut qu'on continue à gagner des points voilà.
So we don't have to think about the past games, we have to think about what's going to happen because we are doing very well and this is the time to keep winning points.
Do you think we're seeing the best of this Watford team now? They're playing at their highest level again?
Est-ce que tu penses que nous avons vu le mieux de ce Watford? Le football que nous jouons maintenant, c'est le mieux?
Je crois, ouais, parce que là, c'est pas les mêmes tactiques et les mêmes styles de jouer. Parce que les coachs, ils ont des différentes tactiques de jouer et tout ça. Là, on joue bien, on garde le ballon, on fait circuler le ballon, on travaille bien. Ouais, on travaille en équipe, voilà. Je crois que c'est pas pareil. Maintenant, on joue bien, on attaque bien, on défend bien, c'est bien.
So yeah, now we play well, we attack very well and we defend all together. Obviously, every coach has a different mentality and even within the same coach we have different tactics and different ways to play. But for now we're attacking and working all together as a team, so it's working out.
With you as a player individually, there does seem to be a noticeable change, especially in the last 3 matches with the physicality, the strength, the intent going forward. Is that a fair thing to say?
Si nous parlons de toi comme joueur, nous avons vu des changements avec toi dans les dernières 3 parties. Tu es plus avec le physique, avec ta vélocité, avec ton corps aussi. C'est vrai ça?
Oui, c'est vrai, c'est vrai. Je ne peux pas rester Isma. Il faut que je travaille encore plus pour, voilà, pour moi aussi, pour l'équipe. C'est normal parce que ça a changé un peu parce que maintenant physiquement je suis bien, voilà. Mentalement aussi. Je travaille pour moi et je travaille pour l'équipe aussi. Je peux faire mieux. Je vais continuer à faire mieux, Inch'Allah.
I feel very well, both physically and mentally. But it's not all about Ismaila Sarr, it's about the team. And obviously I know I can do better, but the important one is that I'm helping the team.
Are you excited to show just what you can do and how much you can help Watford get promoted back to the Premier League?
Tu espères que tu peux faire voir que tu peux faire mieux et que tu peux aider l'équipe à retourner dans la première?
Bien sûr, pourquoi pas, parce qu'on est là pour ça. On est ici pour faire remonter l'équipe si c'est possible, si on continue à s'être lancé. J'espère que voilà, ça me fait plaisir de voir Watford retour à Première Ligue. On travaille pour ça.
Of course, that's why we're working to get back to the Premier League. Obviously, it would be a great achievement, but now we have to keep working for that. But my goal is to see Watford going back to the Premier League.
Just finally, you've got 5 days now to prepare for the next game against Blackburn Rovers. I know it's not a very long time, but I suppose when you're winning, you all must be so excited just to get back out there and try and do the same again.
Si nous avons 5 jours pour préparer les prochaines parties avec le Blackburn, et c'est que comment quand nous gagnons, tu ne peux pas espérer de retourner jouer?
Pour jouer, bien sûr, pourquoi pas. Moi, je suis là, je travaille pour l'équipe, voilà. Si on met, je joue, je suis là pour ça. Je ne peux pas rester à la maison ou voilà. Même si on joue demain ou après-demain, je suis prêt pour moi, pour l'équipe, voilà.
Of course, I work for the team, and obviously I don't want to stay all day at home. I just want to get back and play for me and for the whole team.
Lovely. Well done tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Très bien.
Très bien. C'est bon, John Wick?
Well, great to hear from Ismaila there. The way he links up with Kiko, it is just such a joy to watch. It's such a luxury having two players like that at our club. And in this league, I think, we might be a bit biased, but there aren't too many other teams that have a right-hand side like ours, Graham.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he causes fullbacks nightmares because his pace, his power, he gets to the byline, he's instinctive, he's very much off the cuff, he's unpredictable. He seems to be involved in pretty much all of our attacks at times, and then he's got the support and the backup behind him with Kiko, who's been absolutely outstanding. So in terms of a partnership and an understanding that they're now striking up together, I've got to say that in my opinion, and I think pretty much anyone I've spoke to this season, they are without doubt the best down that right hand side. And I think they really complement each other well, and they've got an understanding. I think there's a bit of a connection there as well, which is massive, and I think you can see that in the way they play.
Yeah, and I touched on it in the interview with him, but it's just so exciting, isn't it, the prospect of what we still haven't seen of him. And in his words, I think he indicated he's still got more to give, and you think, wow, in the Championship, he's got a real chance now to showcase himself.
I think he's grown a lot this season. At the start of the season, he was being bullied, he was being kicked, and he was throwing his hands up in the air every time he was kicked. And now he's just getting on with it. We saw it in the game tonight in the last few minutes when he was trying to keep the ball in the corner. There were people bouncing off him until eventually someone hit him too hard and he ended up going down and getting the free kick. And I agree with him that there's more to see. He's still a kid.
Yeah.
So there's loads more to come from him. As Stacky said, the way that he's linked up with Kiko is really important because Kiko's got a lot more experience than Ismaila does, so he can definitely carry on learning from there. And hopefully Jeremy Ngakia is also learning a lot from Kiko as well, who's another exciting prospect that we've got there. So yeah, the right-hand side looks pretty good, but don't forget that Ishma can also play on the left. as well, or in the centre. So, but it's wonderful to have a player that exciting here. Along with João Pedro, we're kind of spoiled a little bit at the moment with some of the exciting young players that we've got at the club.
Yeah, it's very true. I mean, we've barely even touched on him, and he's had another brilliant evening tonight. He's had a particularly good week, hasn't he, João Pedro?
Yeah. I've been very impressed with him. When he first arrived, he lacked that physicality, and he was probably physically behind. Listen, he was still a young lad, but you can see now I think not only has he put on some size and some muscle, and looks like he's got more power. He's naturally quite a physical lad in terms of he puts his body in and he puts himself around. But I think his hold-up play at times is massively improved. He's quite aggressive for a young lad as well, which I think you've got to be, certainly playing in this position, certainly playing up there on your own. I mean, Troy's a great example of that, the way he plays the game. But for someone like João, with his inexperience, to show some of the performances he's put in, I think he's been outstanding. I think he's done really, really well. And at times, he's got the pace to run in behind. He's a threat on the shoulder. He loves to get in the box. He loves getting balls from wide areas. So his link-up play's been good. He's been excellent. His all-round game play's been very, very good. Been very impressed.
There's just so much to get excited about with this team. I think because they're all doing it across the entire pitch. Every game now is something to really, really look forward to. So with that, we'll turn our attention a little bit to the Blackburn game. What are you expecting, Miles?
Well, the players have been through a lot in this last week. Hopefully the extra day of rest will mean that we are similarly unchanged. Because did Isma play all of the 3 games, or he came off towards the end? I was expecting to see him go off for like half an hour today, and he carried on. So.
But he said in that interview he's feeling very fit, he's feeling at his best, which is what we all want to hear.
Fantastic. So I hope that we go there and attack them. Let's go there and let's catch up with Brentford on the goals side of things.
5 days doesn't sound like very much, but I suppose when you think we've played 3 across 6, should that be adequate enough time, Graham, to recover?
I think that'll be okay. I think that'll be okay. It's a big ask, but it's nothing that some of these lads aren't used to. Enough of these players have played hundreds and hundreds of games, especially in the Championship. So they know what it's all about. They've got a good team around them in there. They'll get them rested up. They'll get them recovered, and I think they'll have plenty in the tank for when they get up there. But I would just say pretty much much more of the same from what we've seen in the last few games. It's going to be a tough test. It won't be easy. They've got some good forward players. So yeah, I think they'll be fine.
Well, I'm with you both. Long may the winning run and the goals continue. So just a reminder, yes, Hive Live will be back with you on Wednesday evening, building up to the game at Ewood Park, kicking off at 7:45. So we'll have 45 minutes of wall-to-wall Watford chat. And in the studio with us, Gifton Earl-Williams and Tommy Mooney. And they will be facing FAQs, fans asking questions. So do submit them to the email address there, and make sure that you join us on Wednesday night, watfordfc.com/Hive Live. So 3 out of 3 then. What a week. Thank you to Miles and to Graham for joining us here in the studio. And we look forward to seeing you again next Wednesday, where hopefully they can make it 4 out of 4. We look forward to seeing you then.
Cliquez ici pour voir plus mes vidéos.